Welcome back to Triple B, where we are black, beautiful, and brave. I'm Candy.
I'm Ayana, and we're excited that you're with us to listen to some of the topics that we discuss here as Black single Christian women.
Yeah. And so we're back for part two of a very interesting conversation. But before we continue, don't forget to like, subscribe, and may leave a comment. Or is it, like, subscribe and comment, whatever. You know what to do. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram. Definitely follow us, like us, leave a comment. We're also on Spotify. Rate
Mm,
us 5 stars. Anything less is unacceptable,
that's
right?
right. Five.
5 stars on Spotify. So we would love for you to join us in this journey of conversation by just leaving a comment. Leave a comment on there. And we read all of our comments.
Mm-hmm.
Right now we don't have any, but we're gonna read them.
As soon as we get them.
As soon as we get them. But we're gonna continue with this conversation. Who do we have
Yeah.
with us again,
So we have
Ayana?
my friend Alicia. She's here to talk about online dating. She and Candy have been filling us in on their perspective. She is a registered nurse, a professional, beautiful Black woman. And she's here to talk about her experience. When we left off, we talked about this idea of being willing to share your number, your Instagram digits, your telling us about their experiences. Like, how do you keep track of the men, your best experiences, your worst experiences? So yeah, so a lot they're going to be sharing with us, especially for those of us who are on dating online or considering it. So this will be something that you may want to take into consideration. So Alicia, let's start with you.
What was the question?
So yes,
Yeah, I was gonna say I
Alicia,
didn't hear a
tell us
question.
about your let's say your best experience with an online someone you met online, and I'm talking specifically about maybe from when you met them to when you started talking to them online, and when you met them, and then your worst experience with online dating. So best and worst.
Ooh, best.
Mhm.
Met someone through a Christian app, and it didn't work out for us eventually, but we remained friends for quite a number of years. And so that's one of the ones that I would say that turned out pretty good. It was kind of like a rough patch in the beginning, but then, like I said, we were able to filter through some of that immediate static. Um, and then we're able to develop a friendship later on, past all of that static. And so that worked out well. The ones that didn't work out well, there was quite a few of those. And it wasn't really a matter of um, what's the word they use when they don't look like what they what's the word we use
The
just
catfish.
catfish, yes. Old
Okay.
school.
How bad was it with the catfishing?
Well, the catfishing wasn't that bad. I had just one experience where the person looked a lot smaller in their pictures, and then when I got there, they weren't as small, and so
Okay.
that was kind of hard for me.
Okay.
But in terms of, I'll say, after talking to the ones that I did like and we shared number, a lot of their personalities came out, which was some of them shocking,
Okay.
to say the least. Do you want me to say an isolated story or
Yes,
just
please do, because I'm going to Candy next.
okay? So this one guy who I was talking to, we talked for a little bit, and then out of the blue, he was talking about how judging each other. He liked what he likes. He doesn't like people to tell him what he likes and what he doesn't like. And I was like, well, tell me about one experience where somebody judged you. And he said he likes to watch porn with his partner prior to having sex.
Wow.
He said he told this young lady who he liked, and they started dating, and he got to the point where he told her about this, and he said that she watched him in disdain. Um, he felt dirty, and that
Mm,
the way that she was looking at him and the way she talked to him afterwards.
mhm.
And he said that made him feel bad and uncomfortable, and he never wants to feel like that ever again.
Okay.
And so for me, it was hard because that's a no-no for me. And I didn't want to get to the point where I made him feel bad about
Right.
him telling me this, just like the young lady that he was pointing out. And
Mm,
I tried my best to try to let him know. I got quiet at first.
right, right.
And then I said, let me approach this in a way that will make him feel
Mhm.
that I'm not judging him or anything
Right.
like that. But needless to say, by the time I was done with the conversation, he didn't want to talk to me anymore. And I
Well, being
told
very judgmental.
myself, I thought I handle it with grace. I feel there's no way of, if you have a different viewpoint to this
Right.
this person, I think no matter what you did, he's gonna feel uncomfortable with
Wow.
you. I had to come to terms with that he's never
Right.
going to be happy with you not agreeing with him, and I had to
Wow.
let that go. We had a lot in common. We laughed a lot, but we got to that point where I had to be like, okay, with telling him I'm not happy with this, and be okay with
Wow.
it, and not try to be something to him that
Mm,
I'm not. Um, it's I'm at that age now where I'm like, I'm gonna say no to certain things and
yeah.
be okay with saying no, and being okay with letting that go if it doesn't work out.
Okay. So thank you. Thank you. So Candy, positive and negative.
Whew, I was trying to think of like how do you define positive
Mm,
experiences, and so one that leaves where um there's no hard feelings, there's
mm,
no I can, we ended amicable because obviously I'm not married. It's like, oh, I met my spouse online. No, I don't have that story. But
right.
positive experiences where I've made friendships.
Okay.
I've had quite a few actually,
Mm,
um, of people that I've met online. There was no like, oh, I hate you and we're not
right.
friends, and it came offline. So I met them online and it came offline and we
Okay.
became friends, right?
Yeah.
Even though I or we just did not become I made a good friend. I'm trying to think of one situation where in that relationship or friendship, I've learned a lot about myself as
Right.
far as what do I want,
Want
Right.
um, learning about myself,
Mm-hmm.
how I need to grow.
Mm-hmm.
I was able to learn that in a friendship,
Mm-hmm.
of someone who was interested in me. How do you speak to someone, right? How do you speak to a
Mm,
man, right?
mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
um, how to receive whatever a man has to give to you, gifts or what have you. I had this one guy
Mm,
that I met online, and sometimes when you're online, you're so quick to say what you don't like. I don't like this. Are you this? Are you that?
mm,
And that could
mm.
be offsetting to a guy. And I think one time I asked this particular guy, I can't remember when I asked, I said, how tall are you? Right? That was one of the first questions, but I think he just, whatever, forgot about it or didn't really answer it. And we were meeting at a restaurant, IHOP, and so he got there before I did and
Mhm.
he sat down. He was
Mm,
seated. And so when
mm.
I came in, he was already seated. So I really couldn't tell how tall he was. So I'm like, oh, oh my gosh, how tall is he? By
Mm,
the time we ended, he then stood up and he was way taller than me. And I was like, oh, I feel bad. That I really had that perception, right? Of
mm,
that this was important. He also was
mm.
the kind of guy who was a manly man
Mhm.
and who was just you're not touching a door. When you're with me, you
Oh,
touch no
wow.
doors.
Oh,
No
wow.
doors, right? And so
Wow.
being able to experience a man who wants to be a gentleman, he lived in that. So coming out of a restaurant, coming in,
Mhm.
opening car doors, you do not open the car door. If I open the car
Mm.
door, I'm coming out. he would be upset, like, no, get back in. I got it. I got it. So allowing him to do that. And
Right.
so I had to get to a space where, okay, all right, I don't have to do it all, right?
Yeah.
This is how he wants to express. And so for me, having to recognize me not allowing a guy to do that or what have you, is that being controlling, looking at myself.
Mm,
Okay, I
mm,
need to fix this or I need to fix that. I need to, and I think in that relationship or friendship, I
mm,
was able to see there's some things that I needed to check, check myself
mm,
out at the door about. And so could that be successful? Like a good
mm.
experience? I think so. I
Yeah.
mean, to this day, we are I can still text him. He can
Right.
still text me, but we're not together.
Is he still single?
Is he I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if he's still single. But it's more so passing through. If he
Yeah.
lives in another side of the country, and if I'm there, I may text say, "Hey, I'm on your side of the country," and
Right.
blah 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 blah. And it's, "Oh, hey, enjoy." So we haven't like met up. We're not like friends now, but I think
Right.
we learned a lot from each other. And so when I can learn about myself and I can see myself and make changes, I think that's a good experience, right? Negative experience that I have had. Oh, I'm trying to think what would be a negative experience.
Something where you came away thinking, I'll never do that again. Like, this is, this, I did my best and it still didn't turn out the way I wanted it to.
I don't know. If I've ever had a negative experience online. Okay, there was this one. I don't know if I would never do this again, but there was someone that I met. We
Mm-hmm.
exchanged numbers, we
Right.
text,
Right.
but we never did a video call. I think
Okay.
to me, I'm at a point where video call is important.
Okay.
And then I realized that this person might be a bot, a robot.
Ooh.
And the way that they are communicating with me, I never see something live. So I
Right.
think maybe it could have been a catfish, but I cut
Wow.
that real quick. I cut that. All right, now I'm good. Nope, good to go. And it was someone of a different persuasion too. It was an
Ooh.
Asian guy, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, so that brings me to my next
Oh,
question.
he
Someone
was
asked me
Asian.
even up until last night, would I, as a sister, date someone from another race or ethnic background? And I'm implying, giving that question to you all. Would you now, as you're doing the online dating, would you select someone from a different racial group or ethnic background?
I
And
have.
why or why not?
I
Yes,
have.
you have. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Are there
have.
any exceptions? Would you go every group is fair game, or would you say it just certain races, certain ethnic groups?
I mean, like I have my preference.
Mm-hmm.
I don't limit. Again, my philosophy is that I don't limit God in any way.
Right.
But I do have my preference, and my preference is always Black.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I know.
I've been engaged to somebody who wasn't Black.
Was not Black. That's true.
In the past. So I don't limit myself where that is concerned, but I do have preferences.
Mm-hmm.
And my preference is my own Black brothers.
Right.
But if God decides that he's not going to be a brother, he's going to be a brother of another type. But all is fair game.
All right. So Ali says open Candy.
I think in last season we talked about this, or last
I know we
chapter.
did. At least, yeah.
And for me, it hasn't changed, but I am open to meeting people. I use this online to meet any person. Now, if I'm attracted to you, I'm attracted to you. Okay, yeah, because although my preference is Black, that doesn't guarantee that you're going to get the swipe to the right.
Ooh, ouch.
Black. There's
Ooh.
certain things that I just don't swipe. What is it? Swipe right for, right? If
Mhm.
you have your chest out, if you're naked, you have no top, nope, swipe left. If you have golds in your mouth,
Yeah.
swipe left. If you are showing off materialistic stuff,
Realistic things, yes. The car and yes. I
swipe
do not. Don't lead by
So that would be the rule book then for how do you post?
no, it's not a rule book.
No,
It's
no,
my
no.
preference.
Yeah, preference. And I
Mm.
think people who lead with their things,
Mhm.
in their relationship, you see
Mhm.
those things being forefront, you
Mhm.
know. And so
Mhm.
to me, if you're leading with your things, I feel like there's a problem with your self-esteem because it's linked
Ooh.
to what you have. And
Right.
so not who you are. So when you
Right.
don't have those things, then you're a different person. And so
Mm.
I want to
Mm.
see you outside of those things. Now, those things are important to me as a woman to know that
Right.
you're able to provide. I mean, that's important, right? But I
Right.
don't want you to lead with that. I want you to lead with who you are as a person. And let
Wow.
me get to know that person first. And
Right.
so anybody who posing in front of their Corvette or their BMW or their
Yeah.
yacht or something, I'm not
But
interested.
that's for you though. I mean, the other ladies would be impressed with that
Of
though.
course, of course. But then you deal with the effects of that because then they're like, oh, they're all about money and they're all about
Mm.
things. But that's what
Mhm.
you led with, right? So
Mm.
that's what you get when you lead with that.
Yeah, and
Wow.
that's why we say it's not a rule, it's a
Right.
preference.
It's a
Okay.
preference.
It's her preference, it's my preference. There's certain things I don't some guys, right? Even of the other persuasion or just people who are into pets, they
Mhm.
love showing their dogs. There is a misnomer that if you have a cute dog, you take a picture with your dog, the women love it.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't. I could care less.
And I do.
You
You
like
have a
the
dog?
dogs?
She
'Cause
loves it.
Yes.
you know, I'm a dog person. So if you
Yes.
have a dog, I feel
Yes.
because I saw this one guy who put on there, if you have dogs, if you have this, you could just not even. And I was like, even though I found him attractive and I liked what he said, from the time he ruled out the dog, I was like, no, he can't. I'm sorry. I'm swiping left on you because I have
Right.
a dog. So I think it's important for you to highlight those things.
Mhm.
Yes.
And so it's okay putting who you are out there
Right.
so that when somebody meets you, they
Mhm.
know that this is what you like,
Yeah.
and I'm accepting this because this is what
Mhm.
you present.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Prefer
That's
that.
why on my profile, I also post pictures of me outside because,
Okay.
I love to be outside.
Yes.
I'm
Okay.
doing things that are adventurous for me.
Yeah.
I'm going to be on the water. I'm going to be in
Mm.
somebody's mountain. I'm going to be, so there are things. So I just recently went to a farm and I
Mhm.
know Alicia, she saw that on online. And so
Yeah, because they
I'm
were having this
thinking that
discussion. I'm like, what farm? What happened?
yes. And so guess what? I'm thinking I'm gonna post that on my dating profile.
Now
Like,
we
Okay.
need to get her in the farmers app, the ones who are looking for
A farmer's wife.
a farmer's wife.
oh,
So that could be Candy. That could be Candy. So I have the final two questions, and both of them relate to how do you keep track of all the different persons you're talking to? And then the other one is there a difference between the Christian dating websites and the non-Christian or just regular dating websites? So which ones do you want to tackle first?
I think the Christian, non-Christian thing I
Yeah.
want to tackle first
Yeah.
because even though people get on there and it's a Christian website, I feel like Christian is like a broad term, right?
Mm.
Some people are Christian because they believe in God, right?
Mhm.
And they
Mhm.
consider themselves Christian. They believe in
Mhm.
Jesus Christ, but are they
Mhm.
practicing anywhere? Are
Mm.
they going to church? Are they dedicated
Mm.
to anything other than just
Mm.
knowing who God is,
Right.
and believing in Jesus Christ? And so
Right.
I've run the gamut on that, and people have been on Christian websites, but they're not
Mhm.
where I am in my Christian walk. And so
Right.
to me, going on a Christian website doesn't necessarily meet somebody who is at the
Mm.
level of where you are spiritually. And
Mhm.
so there's no, people think that that's a safe space and that you would meet somebody who is, they want to worship with you, they want to go to church with you. You feel like that's a safe space for meeting somebody like that, and that's not the case. And I've had people who say that they're Christian, but they're more spiritual than they are
Mm,
Christian, and so
mm.
they're okay signing up for a website like this,
Wow.
and they don't even cater to that kind of thing in terms of their walk with God, right? And so signing up for a Christian website doesn't mean that you're safe in any way when it comes to that, or meeting somebody who is on that same spiritual level as you are.
I agree.
Well, that's a long answer.
No. I agree what she said. Absolutely. There's nothing to contest from what was shared, because that happens, right? And so just because you go to church doesn't mean
Church.
you're gonna meet a
Mm,
Christian person, right? Your
mm,
practices are different. So and
Yeah.
on some
mm.
Christian websites, they will, some dating apps will try to match you with people. I haven't been on those apps in a while, but they'll ask you, what are your church attendance practice? Do you attend
Oh, wow.
weekly? Do you attend once a week, twice a week, and they'll try to match you with someone who might be a little bit similar in certain things that you find to be more important. Now, granted, these websites might now cost, right?
Mm,
I have done dating platforms where I paid for a month or two, and then like, nah, I just got off. And then now just more so doing the free ones, the easy ones,
Mhm.
like Facebook dating. People didn't know Facebook on your mobile does
wow.
have a dating site.
Wow.
So which is kind of like your Tinder and your other ones where you swipe left and right. I've done Hinge, I've done BLK, I've done, a
Mm.
lot of those. And sometimes, to be honest, when you're on them at the same time, the guys are on them at the
Remember
same
the same
time.
time too.
So you see them, you're like, oh, you're also on BLK, you're also on Hinge, you're on Facebook as
Facebook.
well.
Mm.
Yes, I actually saw a guy that I was talking to from Hinge, and I went to Facebook, and his picture was there, and I was like, "What the? Okay."
Well, he could be saying the same thing about you.
Yeah,
Like,
I know. He probably did say the same thing
yeah,
about me.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
All right. So exciting. So I know Candy was telling us about how she tracks the different persons that she meets, and that was quite interesting. Like, how do you keep track of everyone?
Oh, how do I keep track of everyone?
Yeah, the
I mean,
nicknames.
I
You said
usually,
nicknames,
I'm
right?
sorry.
You give them a nickname.
Oh, yes, I do. I do give people nicknames. More so like guys who come out of the dating app and
Mhm,
end up somewhere else where it's enough for me to talk to my girlfriends about,
Yeah.
right?
mhm,
And so
mhm.
I'll give certain names. This is not just for guys who are online, just guys that I'm dating in general, or
Okay,
not dating, but getting to know.
Yeah.
okay,
And
okay.
so some of my friends, because I'm always open to making new friends, and they're like, "Who are you talking to now? Who are you talking to?" And if I give them names, they won't remember, but the nicknames work. And so I have had names where, depending on where they're from, because I live right now, like in the Tennessee area, I'm really
Mm,
close to many states.
mhm.
So I might say, yeah, one person name is Nashville, another person is Alabama. There's
Wow.
one person who was in the Atlanta area. I
Okay.
called him Trumpet, because of his personality,
Okay, okay.
because he was sounding brass. And so,
Ooh.
so when I say Trumpet,
Ooh.
oh yeah, I met with Trumpet, or let me tell you what Trumpet said. Let me tell you what Alabama said. Let me tell you what Nashville. So that helped me and my girlfriends to like keep, or for them to keep up with what I'm doing, and the different guys that I'm meeting. And I'm sure the guys do the same thing,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So based on those conversations, based on those interactions, coming up with those nicknames helps me to share with others, like, this is what's going on with this person, or this progress, and so forth. So that's what helps me to what I do sometimes,
Yeah.
and this is something I just recently started doing this
Okay.
year. I didn't
Okay.
always have names, but normally to keep track, I would go back to our
The
conversation
conversations,
and
yeah.
look and say, "Oh, what did
Yeah.
we say?" Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. So,
Mhm.
ladies, y'all have given us a lot, and we haven't really, we still have some more questions concerning online dating, but we have to wrap it up. Yes?
But I have a question.
Well, what's the question?
Ayana, why aren't you online dating?
Yeah. And have
That's a good question.
we said anything to convince you just a little bit?
Just a little bit. Like I personally, well, I'm old school with that, so I do have concerns about dating online and talking to random people. That's one. And two, I just feel like I don't have the time and the bandwidth to be juggling 5 or 6 conversations, honestly. I really don't. Like Candy, I'll probably have to get nicknames like Mr. Alabama or Mr. Georgia or whatever. And even then, yeah. I mean, I
But you
don't
don't
mind
have
trying
to.
it.
You don't have to.
Well,
I think
Yeah.
you're
you
very
would-
organized, so you could
I am, but I
organize.
don't want to be organized, that organized.
but the thing is that you can make it whatever you want it to make. If you decide
Mm,
that the bandwidth that I have is to go with one guy at a time, you can
yeah.
do that. Because I've done that too, where it's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm just gonna put my attention to one guy,
Mhm.
and just get accustomed
Mhm.
to. All right, this is how this works. Let me get to know him. Let me ask some questions. The
Right.
same way you would meet somebody at the grocery store or at a festival who comes up to you, "Hey, how are you? My name
Right.
is the same thing online."
Yeah, I hear you. So I'll see. You'll probably still have to work on me with that one.
Also, there's
But
some rules you have to set for yourself, like Candy and
yeah.
I was talking offline. And
Mhm.
one of the things that you have to decide is that you're going to enjoy the process and
Mm.
getting to know people. One thing I know about you, Ayana, you always up for meeting people and learning from them. So
True.
if you go in with that kind of mindset, and
Mhm.
so my friend had to tell me the same thing. We're
Mhm.
old school. We're old school, so we want this thing to happen fast and quick, and we don't want to waste time, right?
That's right.
But in doing that, we miss the experience of
Okay,
learning
fair enough.
the things that Candy itemized that she learned from her interaction with men. And I have to second that with her, that I learn a lot about men and how they think and how they view things
Mm.
in my interactions with them, that would help me be a better person for the person that God is going to send my way. So I'm saying,
Amen.
don't look at it like me finding somebody to get
Mhm.
into that point, but enjoying the journey and the experience. And so my friend had to help me navigate and change that mindset. And
Okay.
so it became a better experience once I did that.
Okay.
And it's just like when you meet people generic, there's some people who you're going to meet and you just have to set them aside and say that
Mm.
put them in a category that they're not going to go past this level with you. And
Wow.
so you have to do the same thing when it comes to this, and again, not negating the God factor in this. And
Yeah.
I think we have to remember that he's going to steer the ship, and so I think when you think about it too much, that's when it becomes overwhelming, but just a matter of enjoying the journey.
Okay. Fair enough.
Absolutely. I agree.
All
I think
right.
one thing what I was going to say, I was going to add one more thing that she just mentioned is that, oh man, I'm having a brain freeze. What was it? It was
Senior moment.
it was a senior moment, right?
Look at my Will Candy.
I know.
Yeah, it was something that you said that was like, yep, that's very true. And now it's missing me. But this was a very good conversation, a needed conversation, as far as talking about dating online or just the different ways of dating, of meeting people
Yeah.
online, or just meeting people in general. And so there's a lot of fear in dating online, or there's just a lot of fear in dating in general,
Really.
right?
Yes.
And so just thank you so much for joining us and having this
Yes,
conversation.
thank
So I'm
you.
not by
You're
myself.
welcome.
I know it would have been her and me back and forth, I'm sure.
Yes, back and forth, back and forth all
This
day
was
long.
real fun. Thank you.
Yes, 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 yes. We thank you so much again for joining us in this conversation. Let the conversation not end here. What do you guys think about online dating? Would you? Have you? Could you? You know, it's a very unique journey. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey of online dating. So anything else, ladies? Last
I
words.
think that is it.
All right. Well, join us next time on Triple B or Black Beautiful and Brave. But for
Yeah.
now, we are Triple B.
Ouch.
That's right. Bye.